Keep calm and carry on, an enduring symbol of Britishness, printed on mugs, tea towels and tote bags. A slogan so familiar it feels ancient. But what if I told you, most British people had never even heard of it before the year 2000?
Preceded by a shower of flares, German bombers rained fire and high explosive bombs in their most savage attack on London.
It was printed in 1939 before the war to steady a nation bracing for the worst, a full-scale invasion of the UK. 2.5 million copies were produced, part of an emergency communications plan. It was Britain's backup tagline, to be used only in the event of national collapse. But the invasion never came, so it was shelved, never officially distributed, and then it vanished. Most of the 2.5 million prints were pulped and used for other needs. For decades, Keep Calm and Carry On wasn't iconic, it was irrelevant. A campaign that never launched, a line no one remembered. That was until the year 2000. Stuart Manley, a second-hand bookseller in Northumberland, opened a box of old books bought at auction. Inside, one of the original posters. He framed it, hung it up by the till. Customers started asking for copies. Then came the mugs, the tote bags, the tea towels. By 2005, The Guardian had called it the perfect Christmas gift. And just like that, Keep Calm and Carry On was back, everywhere. What began as a wartime ephemera became Britain's unofficial brand guideline. Stoic, slightly smug, resilient with a raised eyebrow. But here's the irony. It wasn't iconic because it was used. It became iconic because it wasn't. It gave the illusion of timeless national identity, simple, sturdy, enduring, when in truth it was a shelved campaign, scrapped before it ever launched. So why did a shelved poster suddenly feel like the spirit of an age? Because the 2000s were a decade that inhaled and forgot to let it go. By the time the financial crisis hit, people wanted reassurance without rhetoric, not a speech, a tone. Keep Calm arrived like a borrowed memory that says, "We've been through worse, you'll manage this too." It worked because it carried three powerful cultural codes. The first, stoicism as comfort. Britain's favourite self-image is competence under pressure. The cue, the kettle, the shrug. Keep Calm turns that into a national mood you can buy. 2. Authority without noise. That small crown and the BBC-era typography whisper that somebody sensible is in charge. It's paternal, yes, but in a crisis, paternal can read as protective. 3. Nostalgia on tap. It smuggles in the Blitz spirit without mentioning bombs. A warm bath of before times that makes austerity feel like tidying your room. But timing is only half the story. The other half is distribution. This wasn't a government broadcast, it was a retail broadcast. From a bookshop walls to mugs, tote bags, tea towels, the slogan seeped into homes the way brands do, through stuff. And the design did the rest. Swap the crown, change a noun, keep the rhythm. Suddenly everyone from fashion labels to football clubs has a ready-made campaign. The meme wasn't just catchy, it was modular. It resonated abroad too, a quirky Englishness that read as restraint as a flex. Easy to adopt, easier to remix. Back home it did something subtler, more political. It turned endurance into virtue. During cuts and closures the subtext was clear. Don't panic. Don't protest. Put the kettle on. But if the 2000s were the era of Keep Calm and Carry On, has Britain inadvertently rebranded to something much different in the 20s? From calm to alarm. We took a line built for sirens and shelters and turned it into tea towels and timeline quotes. Comfortable, contained. But the era changed. The medium changed. And the mood changed with it. New slogans arrive preloaded with urgency, optimized for sharing, written in caps lock. They don't reassure, they recruit. First came 2016, Take Back Control, a line that sliced through the calm, Action, verb, direct object, clear enemy. It didn't soothe, it mobilised, and it helped deliver Brexit. Now almost a decade on, there's a new line, unite the kingdom. It sounds inclusive. The verb is soft, the noun is home, but the subtext is defence, a call to close ranks, a summons, not a soothing. It speaks to defence and attack, a line that would have made more sense in 1940. It lands like a war poster in 2025. Keep calm was top-down authority. The Crown speaks, the citizen copes. Unite the kingdom is bottom-up mobilisation. The crowd speaks, the platform amplifies. One de-escalates, the other activates. Different tools, same target, the national nervous system. Maybe that was the risk of reviving a 1939 mood for a 21st century feed. Calm became a costume, easy to buy, easier to ignore. The stiff upper lip turned into looking away. And while many Britons defined themselves by tolerance and that stiff upper lip, something darker was brewing underneath. So as we slide into another national rebrand, we have to choose the tone. A future defined by calmness, or maybe a willful ignorance, or a future that feels like a country gearing up for war against itself. Here's the uncomfortable bit. A nation's sentiment isn't centrally planned, it's chosen. We chose keep calm in the 2000s. Retail, memes, mugs. We chose take back control in 2016, a campaign that won, a promise that frayed. And now, parts of the country are choosing unite the kingdom. When control curdles, you invent an enemy and risk going to war with yourselves. So what should Britain's brand be? In this series, we'll go and find out. Tune in.